The bells sounded before sunrise today. For a moment, hearing them through these prison walls, I imagined I was home again in Domrémy. I could almost see the fields, the old oak trees, my mother at prayer, and the quiet life I once knew before war changed everything. I was only a peasant girl. That truth still amazes me. The guards speak softly outside my door. They know what awaits me today. The fire. I have imagined it many times. At first with terror, then grief, and now with a strange calmness. But I do not wish to die. There were times I hoped King Charles would save me, times I believed someone would intervene. But kings protect crowns before people, even those who helped place the crown upon their heads. I do not hate him anymore. Today I think often of the voices. People ask whether they were real, as if truth must always be simple. I only know that when I was young, something greater than myself entered my life. Whether it was heaven speaking through saints, or God placing conviction within my soul, I cannot fully explain. But I believed. With all my heart, I believed. When I first heard the voices of Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret, I was frightened. Yet their certainty proved stronger than my fear. France was dying then. Villages burned. Soldiers looted the countryside. Many had surrendered hope, but the voices never surrendered, neither did I. I remember arriving at Chinon to meet Charles VII of France. Men mocked and doubted me, yet somehow I recognized him immediately. After that, everything changed. Armor, horses, banners. I was never the greatest warrior. My gift was not strength, but conviction. Men who had accepted defeat began believing victory was possible. Sometimes, faith itself becomes a weapon. At the Siege of Orléans, I watched despair become hope. Even wounded, I could not retreat while soldiers still looked toward my banner. They needed courage, so I became courageous for them. Or perhaps simply stubborn. I remember Charles's coronation at Reims more vividly than any battle. The bells, the crowds, the sunlight on the cathedral. For a moment I believed my purpose was complete. I was wrong. Victory frightened powerful men almost as much as defeat. Soon came suspicion, accusations, and finally chains. The trial was worse than many battles. I was frightened, exhausted. There were moments when terror overcame certainty. People imagine martyrs feel no fear. That is not true. I am afraid even now. The smell of smoke reaches my cell. Soon they will lead me before a crowd gathered to watch. Yet I pray they remember I was human before I became a symbol. Not saint, not heretic, not witch, a girl, a frightened girl who loved her country enough to believe God wished to save it. The priest visited earlier. I asked him for a cross, something to look upon when the flames rise. I do not know what waits after death. No one truly does, but I know my life ceased belonging solely to me the moment I answered the voices. Perhaps that is why I feel peace beneath the fear. If these are my final words, let them remain true. I loved France. I loved God. I tried to obey what I believed heaven asked of me. I was imperfect. I was frightened. But I did not betray what lived inside my soul. And if I was wrong in some things, may God forgive me gently. Death removed fear first. The fire belonged only to the body. Now I see how young I truly was. Most girls my age worried about family and harvests. Yet armies and nations gathered around my life. I was never as certain as others imagined. Faith and doubt lived beside one another constantly. Courage was not the absence of fear. It was moving forward despite it. I understand now why people argued so fiercely about me. Some needed me to be a saint, Others needed me to be dangerous or mad. The truth was simpler. An ordinary person changed history because conviction inspired others to believe. The voices mattered less than what they awakened inside me. Despair no longer ruled me, and because it no longer ruled me, it briefly stopped ruling others as well. That changed France. The powerful feared me because a peasant girl, claiming divine authority, challenged the idea that truth belonged only to kings, bishops, and nobles. They condemned me to restore that order. Yet they failed. The flames consumed my body, but transformed my life into something larger than politics or war. The same world that condemned me would later call me innocent and eventually saint. History often repents too late. If my life means anything now, perhaps it is this. Conviction held sincerely by even the most unlikely person can alter nations. Not because they are extraordinary, but because courage spreads,